What's up, gamers? I hope you're having a good day today. Just full of positivity and happiness, dude! Because today, we are going to be responding to a PlayStation Fanboy salty over Xbox's Developer Direct. Now, you might be wondering, Thunderstruck, that Direct was over 3 weeks ago at this point. Why are you only getting to it now? Well, the answer to that is because at the time, I was getting completely railed by college work, and I just had to focus on that, didn't really have much time to make videos. And then about after 2 weeks or so, once I was able to knock a lot of that down, it was in a position where I could make a video, Nintendo just had to release Metroid Prime Remastered, and yeah, that was eating a lot of my free time. But the Xbox Developer Direct. I actually thought it was pretty damn good, even though they didn't show off too many games. Overall, what they did show was really solid, and the highlight of the show was easily the surprise release of Hi-Fi Rush, a new hack-and-slash melee combat game that mixes together Devil May Cry and rhythm games. I haven't played too much of it yet, but what I have played is really damn fun. And most everybody seems to be agreeing that Hi-Fi Rush is great and that Xbox did a really good job this time. But wherever there's Xbox, there are PlayStation fanboys ready to trash on it. Such is the case with the person we're going to be responding to today, known as JWAGS412, who was less than thrilled with the Xbox Direct, but for all the wrong reasons. But we'll see why. Anyways, let's get right into this shit. Side note, I am skipping past like the first 3 minutes because it's just this skit using a Breaking Bad clip and I don't want to get a copyright strike. And then he just shows straight up footage from the Developer Direct with this rap song in the background, which again, I'm cutting because it adds nothing and I don't want to get a copyright strike.
Oh shit, what is going on, guys? This is JWAGS412. And what the fuck did I tell you? What did I say? I knew from the get-go this show would be god-awful. This show would be a disappointment. This show would be a fucking travesty. This show would be fucking embarrassing. This show would be a disaster. And I was absolutely right. Go, bitch! The amount of people I'm seeing on social media and the Xbox community talking about how this show was a success is fucking sickening to me. Now, before I get into all the problems, before I get into all the bullshit associated with the show, let's talk about the couple of positives. The first positive being, they finally got a release date for Redfall. Now, Redfall does not look that good. Redfall is one of the only games I was excited for to come to Game Pass, to come to Xbox. But after looking at it more, I still don't know what the fuck the game's about. And if you ask me, this game's giving me serious games as a service vibes.
My dude, were you even paying attention to the showcase? It was quite clear from the footage that they showed that this game is basically Far Cry mixed with Borderlands with vampires. And honestly, I gotta say, it does look pretty fun. Also, it's a single-player game with optional co-op. How exactly is that games as a service? The only thing I could potentially think of is the fact that you're gonna need to be always online to play it, even in single-player mode, which does have me concerned. But that fact was not revealed until about a week and a half after he released this video.
Redfall does not look that good to me. It doesn't look that fun to me, especially not for a single-player game. It looks like a game that's only going to be fun if you're playing with your friends online. And there's also the fact that in Redfall, there is no co-op progression, meaning that if you play with your friend online, that only the main person, the host, only gets progression, and the person who's in the lobby, or 3 people in the lobby, do not get any progression in the main story. Now I know what you're going to say, but JWAGS, a lot of games do that when they're co-op. Yeah, but if this is one of your only fucking big games for the year, you would think that's one of the things you would fucking iron out.
And I fail to see how this is a bad thing. Like you said, most co-op games do that because that way you don't end up in a situation where, say, you're playing the game solo, but then maybe your friend gets the game and you want to join up his lobby so that you can play the game together, but then you come back to your world, and then all of a sudden, you just made a whole bunch of progress because you progressed in your friend's game. I actually kind of found that annoying in Borderlands 3 when I realized I accidentally got way farther ahead than my brother was. and like there was just a huge discrepancy in our levels. But as long as they don't do what Far Cry 5 did and tie each individual's player's progression to their single player save file as opposed to the host save file, then I think things are going to be just fine. For those wondering, that was me who muted that, not YouTube, because number one, it's cringe as all hell, and number two, I am not trying to get a copyright strike.
Redfall is not that game. Redfall is not the game that's going to save Xbox. Redfall just isn't fucking it.
I mean, I kind of agree. I don't think it's going to be the game that saves Xbox, but the reason for that is usually because Arcane's games are generally pretty niche in their appeal. Like, Dishonored 1 and 2 were great games, but they were a niche appeal to those who like the immersive sim stealth genre. Prey was also a pretty niche appeal game because, again, immersive sim plus survival horror FPS.
Minecraft Legends? Fucking trash. Even the Minecraft community, I do not think the Minecraft community, they like building shit. They do not want a Minecraft fucking RTS game.
Again, I muted that because it was that cringe Oscar the Grouch I Love Trash sound clip. But Minecraft Legends actually looks fun. Like, a Minecraft RTS is something that I remember thinking back as early as, like, 2015 that I thought is something that could have, like, a ton of potential. I mean, Minecraft Legends doesn't look exactly like an RTS, but I mean, it looks really damn fun. I'll probably try it out on Game Pass when it comes out. And besides, why do you think that nobody's excited for it? Because generally, I thought the reception to this was pretty positive.
I cannot believe for the life of me that people are actually literally trying to fucking hype up Minecraft Legends when 99.9% of you fucking dudes aren't even gonna fucking touch it. Now, a new Forza game. It looks good, but guess what? It looks like Forza. It looks like the same shit we fucking played how many goddamn times now. And the crazy shit is, and the big L about the show, is they showed Forza, but no fucking release date. How the hell do you not have a release date for Forza? A game that we fucking know for sure will be coming, and they gave us no release date. That's fucking concerning.
I mean, considering that all the other things that they showed in that developer direct is coming out within the next 6 months, I think it's forgivable if one game doesn't have a definitive release date yet. And even then, we still know it's going to release by the end of 2023.
Elder Scrolls Online, who gives a fuck? I never hear anybody talking about Elder Scrolls Online. I fucking skipped that whole part of the show. Nobody gives a fuck about Elder Scrolls Online.
I mean, I guess I can understand if you don't really care about Elder Scrolls Online. Like, I don't think I ever will, because I'm not an RPG person, I'm not an MMO person, so I also skip past this part of the show, but from those that I know that do care about Elder Scrolls Online, apparently what was shown was pretty good. Plus, they made all the previous DLCs free, so yeah, that's always a W.
Now, I will say this. The way they shot this, the format of it was much better than Inside Xbox or their Xbox Bethesda showcase. They minimized the talking to, as much as they could, I think. But I do enjoy the way that they put this together. Is a much more efficient. Just show the games. They talk about it a little bit and just show the fucking games. Now let's talk about the highlight of the show, and that is going to be Xbox decided to do a stealth drop of a game called Hi-Fi Rush. That's right, Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh boy, here we go.
A game that looks like it could run the fucking PS2 on the world's most powerful console. They decided to stealth drop this. Why? Why do you think that is? Do you think maybe it was to avoid bad reviews? Or to hype their fan base up?
It was to surprise their audience with a new game they can play. Like, hey, this game looks fun, right? Well, you can play it now if you want. And given how successful the game has been, I'd say that strategy worked well for them. Is it something I'd want for them to do with every single release? No. But every now and then, I think it's good. As for the graphics, yeah, maybe from a technical perspective it might not be as impressive, but at the same time, it's not really an issue because it's an art style choice. They were clearly going for that cartoony art style, and they pulled it off extremely well. And the good news about this game is that it's gonna look great 10, 20, 30 years down the line. Because realism only holds up as long as the tech does, but a great art style looks good for a long time. Case in point, Wind Waker and Borderlands.
Either way, it was still trash. They talked all week talking about Tamper your expectations. Keep your expectations low. And they really thought they had something here. They said, we're about to fucking drop this bomb on them. Just wait till they see Hi-Fi Rush. They really thought they did something. They really thought they fucking dropped the bomb. Ooh, stealth drop. They even said on their Twitter page, mic drop. The only thing you dropped Xbox is the fucking ball. But guess what? As crazy as it is, this game, Hi-Fi Rush, was enough to fucking solidify, was enough to keep Xbox fans at bay, was enough to fucking make them praise Xbox for a game like fucking Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, because Hi-Fi Rush is a great game. Like, it is a lot of fun. I've only played through the first 2 levels, but holy fuck, it is a lot of fun to play. So no fucking shit people are praising it.
From Bethesda and Tango Gameworks, I got a better idea. Instead of making this bullshit, I'm not hating on the game. I played the game for about an hour and a half. It's a decent little rhythm game, but that game's not fucking it either. Like I have said many times, I have no problems with games like fucking Hi-Fi Rush, even with games like Pentiment. But when you're dropping games like that, and only games like that, alongside nothing else, no other big games, that's where it becomes a fucking problem, especially on the world's most powerful console, as they touted. Do you think I'm hyped for a game like Hi-Fi Rush? Fuck no.
Of course you're not, because you're a PlayStation fanboy. Your sole purpose in life is to literally hate on anything that Xbox does.
Do you think people who pay $15 a month are hyped for a game like fucking Hi-Fi Rush? Fuck no.
Ooh, it doesn't look like you were right about this one at all. It seems like a lot of people are enjoying Hi-Fi Rush. But what can I say, man? Sucks to suck.
You know what we all would like to see more from Tango Gameworks? How about a fucking Evil Within 3? Now that would have been something.
I mean, I've heard the Evil Within games are pretty fun, but I mean, Hi-Fi Rush is just what Tango Softworks wanted to do at the time. Maybe they just wanted to make something different. And after all, it's a good thing they did, because they completely knocked it out of the park with Hi-Fi Rush.
If they would announce an Evil Within 3 game, maybe even releasing that fucking night, bro. The Evil Within 3 exclusive right now in a few hours on Game Pass, now that shit would light it on fire. But Hi-Fi Rush, and I know I'm gonna get grilled for this shit, but Hi-Fi Rush, believe it or not, whether you want to believe this shit or not, is more Game Pass filler bullshit. Like I said, it might be a fun game, might be a fun little indie game in its own right. Like I said, it might be a fun game, might be a fun little indie game in its own right.
I'm sorry, what? How is Hi-Fi Rush an indie game? It's literally developed by Tango Softworks, a AAA developer, and published by Bethesda, a AAA publisher. This side of Activision, this is about as far from a fucking indie game as it gets. Also, if this is what Microsoft plans to fill up Game Pass with in the future, then sign me the fuck up, because Hi-Fi Rush is a brilliant fucking game.
You know it's made by Bethesda, but still. Might be a fun little game in its own right, but it is not fucking it. It is Game Pass, filler, kiddie, art style bullshit.
So it's a good game, but it's filler? Like, what? Okay, you know what? Let's play hypothetical. Let's just say that Hi-Fi Rush is an indie game. My question for you is, why the fuck does it matter? Why does the budget matter more than the quality of the actual product itself? What happened to judging games based on their own merits? I mean, there are some considerations to be made, like naturally an indie title made by like 2 people in their basement obviously probably is not going to have as much detail, polish, and content as something produced by a big budget studio. But if an indie team manages to deliver a product that's better than most AAA games, then why the fuck does it matter if it's indie or not? The fact is, they made a great game. But, like I said earlier, Hi-Fi Rush is not an indie game. So this whole fucking argument is completely stupid.
And all these frauds, all of you frauds are exposing yourself every day. How dare any of you say some shit like, oh, Forspoken looks like trash. The graphics for Forspoken look like trash. That combat looks like trash. But then you're hype as fuck for a game like Hi-Fi Rush. Hypocrisy of the highest order. I'm not saying you can't enjoy Hi-Fi Rush. I'm not saying people can't enjoy Hi-Fi Rush. But if you're one of those people who are going to sit there and say that the quality in Forspoken is shit, and then praise a game like Hi-Fi Rush. You are a fucking fake, you are a fraud, and you are a fucking liar.
That is a false equivalence. We're talking about a game with stylized graphics here, and the decisions on the fidelity was made to suit this art style. Forspoken is going for fantasy realism, but ultimately the game just doesn't really look that good compared to other games that go for the similar art style. In other words, Forspoken is a botched attempt at photorealism, whereas Hi-Fi Rush is a brilliant execution of an art style, even if said art style might not be as demanding from a technical perspective. And besides, a big part of the reason why people were trashing on Forspoken's graphics is because the game ran like ass, as it could get as low as 720p 30fps on the PS5, a machine designed for 4K, even though Forspoken's graphics are a little bit under what I'd expect for a PS4 launch title. Now, if Forspoken was running at like, say, 4K 60 on the PS5, then I doubt that too many people would have complained about the graphics as much. But on PS5, you get as low as 720p 30. The Xbox Series S runs most games better than that. Meanwhile, on the PC side of things, the game recommends you have an RTX 3070 for 1440p at 30fps, which on no fucking planet should that be a requirement. Meanwhile, Hi-Fi Rush runs at a smooth as butter 4K 60 on the Xbox Series X, and the PC requirements are much more reasonable.
And this whole thing goes deeper than just Hi-Fi Rush. Ever since Game Pass's inception in 2017, every game we've got since then has been low-budget filler bullshit. Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, all these games low-ass quality.
Ooh, it once again looks like you were not right about people's general opinions on these games. It seems like a lot of people really like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2, so I just had to hit you with those Steam review scores. I mean, if you don't like them, that's fine, but that's your opinion, not the opinion of the gaming population in general. And also, Sea of Thieves is Rare's most successful game, so yeah, miss me with that bullshit.
Taking Premier Studios and turning them into this shit. You got Rare making games like Sea of Thieves. You got Obsidian making games like Grounded and Pentiment. Now you got Bethesda and Tango making fucking a game like Hi-Fi Rush. And since Game Pass's inception, it has affected their games at every level. Even the AAA games, even their biggest names. Look at the fucking state that Halo is in.
Yeah, the state of Halo has nothing to do with the inception of Game Pass, as Halo 5 was easily way fucking worse than Infinite ever was, and most people seem to agree that the issues started with Halo 4. Now, I mean, personally, I like Halo 4, but a lot of people disagree with me on that, and say that Halo 4 is what really started killing the Halo franchise. So yeah, this was happening as early as the fucking Xbox 360 days, way before Game Pass was even a concept on a drawing board. And besides, Halo Infinite's multiplayer is free to play even without Game Pass, so go off, I guess.
Gears of War 5, or Gears 5 as they call it, should have been called Game Pass 5 because it fucking sucked. They lowered the bar so much for the Gears universe, both the multiplayer wise and the story, and that game has never been right since, and they stopped supporting it. Game Pass is a goddamn curse, and it's bringing every game down. I've said it so many times, they're not putting any effort or money into these games, because why the fuck would they? Because whether they put out 0 games or 100 games, it's still $15 a month. They're getting their fucking money either way.
But you're forgetting that if Xbox Game Pass didn't have plenty of games that people wanted, then people wouldn't fucking subscribe to it, now would they? So if Xbox doesn't put out good games, then why would people subscribe to Game Pass at all? It would be like if you had a Netflix subscription, but it didn't have anything you wanted to watch.
They have zero incentive to fucking push more games out and push quality games out. No, all you're gonna get now, Xbox community, quality-wise, is games like Gravity or Hi-Fi fucking Rush.
Again, if that was the case, then I think Xbox would be in a much better place than they are now, because Hi-Fi Rush is a great fucking game.
Is that why you bought Xbox Series X? For a game like Gravity Rush that runs, what, 4K, fucking, 120 frames per second, and that art style? Is that what the fuck you want to see? Or do you want to see your games getting pushed forward, right? You want to power your dreams?
I fail to see how games getting pushed to 4K 120 FPS is a bad thing. And Hi-Fi Rush has a great art style, like, it looks really fucking good.
That's what I tell you, right? Power your dreams. Good luck. Have fun. Make no mistake that this show just solidified. The Xbox don't give a fuck. It solidified the direction that they're going with this low budget bullshit. There's no effort, low budget horse shit. And of course, their biggest game, Starfield, was nowhere to be found. And
Xbox already stated ahead of time that Starfield would not be at the Xbox Developer Direct because it was going to be getting its own showcase. So I really don't know why you were expecting it to be there, but then again, I guess you don't really pay attention, do you?
they say there's going to be a whole show just dedicated to Starfield when it's supposed to drop in June, according to them.
Exactly! So why were you expecting it to be at the Developer Direct then? Honestly, thank God that we're almost done with this shit.
We'll see about that. But no release date for Forza. No release date for Starfield. We got one for Redfall, Minecraft Legends, and you got a stealth drop of a fucking kiddie game, Hi-Fi Rush, that could have very well ran on a fucking PS2. That's just the way it looks. There is no W here for Xbox community. This is not a win. This is a gigantic L. This is a gigantic loss. A huge failure and just a continuation of what Xbox has become and what people expect from Xbox.
No, because this time we were actually shown off quite a bit of the games they were talking about, and literally all of them are set to release this year. Hell, Hi-Fi Rush already dropped, 3 of the other 5 games are set to release sometime within the next 6 months, and Forza Motorsport 8 is set to release by the end of 2023. If this was like last year at all, it would have been completely fucking dry.
Get ready for 2023. It's gonna be a long fucking year, guys. Good luck, have fun, power your dreams, all that bullshit. It won't be long now till we're here and wait till 2024. I want to say I'm truly disappointed, but I was ready for this shit. I knew they were gonna fucking show nothing. Even the game they fucking stealth drop, I knew it was gonna be that low budget goddamn filler. I keep saying it, but it's the goddamn truth. The quality is just not there anymore. All this fucking money is going goddamn nowhere.
So wait, earlier you called these games low budget, but now you're saying that they're throwing away a whole bunch of money? Well, which is it, dude? You might wanna
keep that same energy.
But that's it for this time, guys. Do a few please like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. Talk to you guys next time. Thanks.
And just like that, the video is over, so I guess the moral of the story is Hi-Fi Rush bad because Xbox bad. But anyways, that's going to be about it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more, and tell me what you think about this PlayStation fanboy being a clown. Also, if you haven't played Hi-Fi Rush, I would highly recommend it. It's a really fun game. Anyways, that's it. Peace!